1, 2. Test, test, test. Test, 1, 2. Test, 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 test. Okay.
Shabbat Shalom.
Shabbat Shalom.
I don't think it's too late to say Chag Purim Sameach, right?
Chag Purim Sameach.
Happy Purim, happy holiday. We welcome Shabbat with the lighting of the candles, and we welcome all of you to our spiritual sanctuary as well.
Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam asher kidshanu b'mitzvotav v'tzivanu להדליק נר של שבת.
Amen, amen. We turn to Kabbalat Shabbat. We receive Shabbat into our heart and into our spirit. On page 12, if you're following along, please join us. Lechu naranana, it means come with us, sing with us.
לכו נרננה לאדוני, נריע לצור אישנו. לכו נרננה, לכו נרננה, לכו נרננה לאדוני. לכו נרננה, לכו נרננה, לכו נרננה לאדוני. נריע לצור אישנו, נקדמה פניו בתודה. נריע לצור אישנו, בזמירות נריע לו. לכו נרננה, לכו נרננה, לכו נרננה לאדוני. לכו נרננה, לכו נרננה, לכו נרננה לאדוני. שירו לאדוני, שירו שיר חדש, שירו לאדוני, כל הארץ. שירו לאדוני, שירו שיר חדש, שירו לאדוני, כל הארץ. שירו לאדוני, ברכו שמו, בסרו מיום ליום ישועתו. שירו לאדוני, ברכו שמו, בסרו מיום ליום ישועתו. השירו לאדוני, שירו שיר חדש, שירו לאדוני, כל הארץ. שירו לאדוני, שירו שיר חדש, שירו לאדוני, כל הארץ. רוממו לאדוני אלוהינו, והשתחוו להר קודשו. רוממו אדוני אלוהינו, וישתחוו להר קודשו. כי קדוש אדוני אלוהינו רוממו. כי קדוש אדוני אלוהינו רוממו. לי לי כי קדוש אדוני אלוהינו רוממו. כי קדוש אדוני אלוהינו רוממו. לך דודי לקראת כלה, פני שבת נקבלה. לך דודי לקראת כלה, פני שבת נקבלה. שמור וזכור בדיבור אחד השמיענו, אל המיוחד אדוני אחד ושמו אחד, ושמו תפארת ולתהילה. לך דודי לקראת כלה, פני שבת נקבלה. לך דודי לקראת כלה, פני שבת נקבלה. לקראת שבת לכו ונלכה, כי מקור הברכה מראש מקדם נסוכה. סוף מעשה במשפט תחילה. לך דודי לקראת כלה, פני שבת נקבלה. לך דודי לקראת כלה, פני שבת נקבלה. התעוררי, כי באורך קומי אורי, שיר דברי, כבוד אדוני עלייך נגלה. לך דודי לקראת כלה, פני שבת נקבלה. לך דודי לקראת כלה, פני שבת נקבלה. בואי בשלום עטרת בעלה, גם בשמחה ובצולה, תוך אמוני עם סגולה. בואי כלה, בואי כלה. לך דודי לקראת כלה, פני שבת נקבלה. לך דודי לקראת כלה, פני שבת נקבלה. לי 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 לך דודי לקראת כלה, פני שבת נקבלה. לך דודי לקראת כלה, פני שבת נקבלה. מזמור שיר ליום השבת. להודות לאדוני, ולזמר לשמך עליון, להגיד בבוקר חסדך, ואמונותיך בלילות. טוב להודות לאדוני, ולזמר לשמך עליון, להגיד בבוקר חסדך, ואמונותיך בלילות. עלי אסור ועלי נבל, עלי היגיון וכינור, כי שימחתני אדוני בפועלך, במעשה ידיך ארענן, ארענן. טוב להודות לאדוני, טוב להודות לאדוני.
I love the words to that prayer. It is so good to give thanks to God.
הגדלו מעשיך מאוד עמקו מחשבותיך. לי, 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 מה גדלו מעשיך מאוד עמקו מחשבותיך.
Shabbat Shalom. Last week, a woman in her 50s waited in line outside of a bakery in Queens. It was about 2 o'clock, middle of the day, and a man came by, engaged in some sort of verbal altercation with her, and then threw her to the ground with such force that her head banged into a newsstand box and she had to be rushed to the hospital. Waiting in line at a bakery one moment, and an instant later, assaulted. The woman was Asian American. The violence is not isolated, it's a trend. Violence against Asian Americans is on the rise in our country, in our city, in our neighboring neighborhoods, and in our neighborhood. We at the Village Temple condemn this violence unequivocally. Let me ask you something. Is anyone here surprised? Shocked and appalled, of course, but surprised? Hateful rhetoric leads to hateful acts. When you drill on a public platform that this evil virus is the fault of one particular country and one particular people, you are putting a target on those people. When you politicize a plague, you promote violence. We stand with the Asian American community, both within our congregation and beyond. This place our place will be a safe place for all. Jews, we have a special window into this sort of hate because past is prologue. Around the year 1300, the Black Death had decimated the European population. The majority population blamed the plague on the minority people, us. The conspiracy theory then was that the Jews had poisoned well water, spreading brutal sickness and disease. The ruling class spread that lie quickly and effectively. They didn't have social media, and they didn't need it. For us, the result was expulsion from France, from England, and we were expelled from over 90 cities in Germany. Just leave. Get out. We don't care about your home or your children or your things. Just get out. Where should we go? There was nowhere. Or, if we weren't expelled, we were punished violently. Don't forget that the Jewish population, like all of the population at that time, was suffering from this deadly plague, but that wasn't enough for the angry mobs. They burnt us at the stake in public squares, they imprisoned us as a collective, and they placed suffocating economic sanctions on us as a people entire. We were the apparent disease spreaders. We were the obvious origins of the plague then. Let me ask you something. On what planet is it possible for me not to use this platform to speak out against this sort of hate against another people? We will not sit in silence and watch violence flourish and foment. We can't. And let me be clear. This is not a singular violent outburst that will be limited to a single population. Hate against one group busts open the door to hate against more groups. If you thought denigrating Mexican Americans, painting them as criminals, would not allow for the denigration of Asian Americans, you were wrong. It's Black History Month. If you thought that racism against African Americans would not lead to violence against other Americans, you are wrong. If you thought years of relentless denigration of Israeli Jews somehow would magically have no effect on us, on American Jews, you are wrong. Think about that. If you thought that the ugly chant of "send her back" would not enable the grotesque phrase "China flu," you are wrong. Once you articulate hate, it's just in the atmosphere. It's meteorological. Hateful thoughts allow for hateful thoughts. There is no parsing one group from another group in the mind of a hateful person. We celebrated Purim last night. It is about this. It's about a hateful person who spreads a lie, influences a leader, and tries to get us all killed. Megillat Esther, the book of Esther, is a farce. It's a fanciful story that ancient civilizations laughed at. They thought it was hysterical. To imagine a Jew as the queen of Persia is pretty ridiculous, even now. The most outlandish part of it all is, of course, that we win. Our tiny, influence-less group has an impact over the policies of a king of a major Near Eastern empire. It's a farcical fantasy, a wish so outlandish it's comedic. That's not real. What we are living in now, this is the reality. That leaders have the power to spread discrimination, that leaders aren't always full of compassion, and these attacks against Asian Americans are the result. But if you can spread hate and violence, you can also spread love and peace. This is one of the few things almost all religions agree on. Buddhism says, "Hurt not others that which pains yourself." Christianity, "In everything, do to others as you would have them do to you, for this is the law and the prophets." Baha'i, Lay not on any soul a load that you would not wish to be laid upon you, and desire not for anyone the things you would not desire for yourself. Hinduism. This is the sum of duty. Do not do to others what would cause pain if done to you. And of course, Judaism, my favorite. What is hateful to you? Do not do to your neighbor. This is the whole Torah. All the rest is commentary. Now go and learn it. The thing is, those messages have to be spread with fervor as well. The same fervor that hateful people use to spread their messages. So this is not a sermon about reflection. It's a sermon about action. Get out there. Be a part of the solution. Fight for justice and peace in every forum you can. It matters. For the Asian American population and for every minority population that needs a voice, including ours. On March 4th, we're part of a coalition of churches and synagogues that have organized a forum for the Manhattan DA candidates. The focus is racial justice and de-incarceration, and I've seen some of the questions. They're quite serious. Come, ask questions, listen, tell our potential DAs what you think, or get involved in our social action committee, or support an organization that works against hate of any kind. It will help. Write a letter to a leader expressing your concern. Just do something. We cannot complete the work, but neither are we free to desist from it. I don't know about you, but the moment Purim ends, I start thinking about Passover. And it's coming soon. The Haggadah tells us, in each and every generation, a person is obligated to see himself as if he left Egypt. It's not that once thousands of years ago we were slaves. It's imagine yourself as a slave. It's imagine your own family as oppressed and not free. It's remember the widow, the stranger, and the orphan, for you were slaves in Egypt. It means take care of those vulnerable in your society because you were once the vulnerable one. It's not a request. It's an obligation. As a child, when I learned Jewish history, I had the following thought more than once. Maybe I'm not alone. I don't know. I wondered if I had been living in a time of grave hatred towards Jews, and I was not a Jew, what would I have done? What would you have done? Would you have helped? Would I have helped? Would we have helped a little? A lot? Now is the time that you can answer that question for yourself in our own time. What happened then in Jewish history is not the same as what's happening now, in many, many different ways. The scale, the proportion, the hurricane of hate, the violence is not equivalent. But if that suffering had any meaning at all, we can use it to fuel our action now. My prayer for tonight, for all of us, is this. May we, the Jewish people, learn our history. Da lifnei mi ata omed. May we know before whom we stand. May we understand our past so that it guides our present. May we be ambassadors of justice, equality, and kindness. And may God grant us peace for us and for the world entire. Shabbat Shalom.
Shabbat Shalom.
The Baruch Hu is on page 28. Please rise.
Baruch Hu et Adonai HaMevorach. Baruch Adonai HaMevorach le'olam vad. Baruch Adonai HaMevorach le'olam vad.
Please be seated. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam, asher bidvaro ma'ariv aravim, v'chokhmah poteach she'arim u'vitvuna meshane itim, u'machalif et hazmanim u'misader et hakochavim b'mishmorotehem barakia kirtzono, borei yom v'layla golel or mipnei choshech, v'choshech mipnei or.
ומעביר יום ומביא לילה, ומבדיל בין יום ובין לילה, אדוני צבאות שמו, אל חי וקיים, תמיד ימלוך עלינו לעולם ועד, ברוך אתה אדוני, המעריב ערבים. אהבת עולם, בית ישראל, עמך אהבת, תורה ומצוות, חוקים ומשפטים, אותנו לימדת. כן אדוני אלוהינו, בשוכבנו וקומנו, נשיח בחוקיך, ונשמח בדברי תורתך, ובמצוותיך, לעולם לעולם ועד. כי הם חיינו ואורך ימינו, ובהם נגל יומם ולילה. ואהבתך אל תסיר ממנו לעולמים, ברוך אתה אדוני, אוהב עמו ישראל. שמע ישראל, אדוני אלוהינו, אדוני אחד. ברוך שם כבוד מלכותו לעולם ועד. ואהבת את אדוני אלוהיך בכל לבבך ובכל נפשך ובכל מאודיך. והיו הדברים האלה אשר אנוכי מצווך היום על לבביך, ושיננתם לבניך ודיברת בם, בשבתך בביתך ובלכתך בדרך ובשוכבך ובקומך, וקשרתם להיות על ידיך, והיו לטוטפות בין עיניך, וכתבתם על מזוזות ביתך ובשעריך, למען תזכרו ועשיתם את כל מצוותי, והייתם קדושים לאלוהיכם. אני אדוני אלוהיכם, אשר הוצאתי אתכם מארץ מצרים, להיות לכם לאלוהים. אני אדוני אלוהיכם, אדוני אלוהיכם אמת. We sing the song of men and women joined in understanding and respect and great freedom. Mi chamocha. Mi chamocha, Bailim Adonai. Mi chamocha, Nedar ba'kodesh. זאת עושה פלא, מלכותך ראו בניך, בוקע היום לפני משה ומרים. זה לי, אנו ביאמרו, אדוני ימלוך לעולם ועד, אדוני ימלוך לעולם ועד. לי, ונאמר כי פדה אדוני את יעקב וגלו מיד חזק ממנו. ברוך אתה אדוני גאל Yisrael. Hashkivenu, we ask God for guidance and peace as we face the night and return to waking to life renewed. Hashkivenu Adonai Eloheinu leshalom, leshalom, vehamidenu shomrenu lechaim. Ufrus alenu sukat shlomecha, ufrus alenu sukat shlomecha. Amen. Shelter us beneath your wings, O Adonai. Guard us from all harmful things, O Adonai. Keep us safe throughout the night, till we wake with morning's light. Teach us, God, wrong from right. Amen. Amen. Baruch atah Adonai Haporei Sukkot Shalom Aleinu ve'al kol amo Yisrael ve'al Yerushalayim. Shamru v'nei Yisrael et ha-Shabbat לעשות את השבת לדורותם ברית עולם ושמרו בני ישראל את השבת לעשות את השבת לדורותם ברית עולם ביני ובין בני ישראל אותי לעולם אותי לעולם ושמרו בני ישראל את השבת, לעשות את השבת לדורותם ברית עולם. כי 6 ימים עשה אדוני, את השמיים ואת הארץ, ושמרו בני ישראל את השבת, לעשות את השבת לדורותם ברית עולם. וביום השביעי שבת וינפש, שבת וינפש, שבת וינפש, ושמרו בני ישראל את השבת, לעשות את השבת לדורותם ברית עולם. ושמרו בני ישראל את השבת, לעשות את השבת לדורותם ברית עולם.
We turn to the Amidah, page 46. Please rise.
Adonai sefatai tiftach ufi yagi tehilatecha. Adonai, open up my lips that my mouth may declare your praise. Baruch atah Adonai, Eloheinu, Elohei avotenu v'imotenu, Elohei Abraham, Elohei Yitzchak, Elohei Yaakov, Elohei Sarah, Elohei Rivka, Elohei Rachel, Elohei Leah. Ha'el Hagadol, Hagibor v'Hanora, El Elyon, Gomel Chasadim Tovim, V'koneh hakol, V'zocher chaste avot ve'imahot, U'mevi ge'ula livnei bneihem, Leman shemo be'ahava, Melech ozer u'moshia u'magen, Baruch atah Adonai, Magen Abraham, Ve'ezrat Sarah. Atah gibor le'olam Adonai, Mechaye hakol, Atah rav lehoshia, Mashiv haruach u'morid hagashem, Mechalkel chayim bechesed, Mechaye hakol berachamim rabim, Zomech noflim verofeh cholim, Umatir asurim, Umekayem emunato lishenei afar, Michamocha bal gevurot, Umido melach, Melech memit, Umechayeh, Umatzmiach Yeshua, V'ne'eman atah lachayot hakol, Baruch atah Adonai, Mechaye hakol. Atah kadosh v'shimcha kadosh, u'kadoshim b'chol yom yahalelucha selah. Baruch atah Adonai, ha'el hakadosh.
We pause for a few moments of silent prayer.
May the visions of my dreams and the wishes of my heart be acceptable to you and be fulfilled. Oh, my rock, my God, may they be fulfilled.
We think about those who are in need of healing, healing of the body, the mind, the spirit. If you're watching on Zoom, feel free to add names to the chat as I begin our list of those we're thinking of. Jana Cox, Karen Gouchard, Susan Agrest, Robert Ashion, Jack, Mason, Jim, Richard, Sharon, Bobby, Denise Gorham, Marie Corrigan, Harriet Zimmer, Bob Zimmer, Francoise Regewertz, Jake Jacobson, Michael Simon, Janet Schuldiner, Sarah Dreyfus, Gladys Schuker, Wayne Kabak, Theodore Williamson, Marion Bartholomew, Andy Seidman, Bonnie Perkel, Bruce Levinson, Eileen, Bill, Derek, Julie Morgan, Randy Sobelman, Andy Seidman, David Horowitz, Martha Steinman, Norma Pomerantz, Claire Coleman, Chaya Deo, Baby Bell, Misha Berach Avotenu ve'imotenu, Avraham, Yitzhak ve'Yaakov, Sarah, Rivka, Rachel, ve'Leah, Hu Yivarech et Acholim. May God swiftly send them a complete renewal of body and spirit. And together we say,
Amen.
Amen.
Misha Berach Avotenu Mekor HaBracha Ve'imotenu. May the source of strength who bless the ones before us help us find the courage to make our lives a blessing, and let us say Amen. Misha Berach Imotenu Mekor HaBracha Me'avotenu. Bless those in need of healing with refuah shlema, the renewal of body, the renewal of spirit, and let us say, Amen.
Amen, amen. We pause now for smachot, for happy things. If you're watching us on Zoom, feel free to add it into the chat. I'm going to talk a little about some happy things to give you a minute to do that. One, I see Arthur and Nellie, our beloved congregants, are reunited. How wonderful. We're so happy you are back in the same physical space. Two, yesterday was Purim, and I'm still on a high. So Chag Sameach to everyone. We wish you a happy and healthy Shabbat. We turn now to Aleinu, page 282. Please rise.
עלינו לשבח לאדון הכל, לתת גדולה ליוצר בראשית, שלא עשינו כגויי הארצות, ולא שמנו כמשפחות האדמה, שלא שם חלקנו כאן, וגורלנו ככל המונם. ואנחנו קוראים ומשתחווים ומודים לפני מלך מלכי המלכים הקדוש ברוך הוא. ונאמר והיה אדוני למלך על כל הארץ ביום ההוא יהיה אדוני אחד, ושמו
Our thoughts turn to those whom we've lost in recent weeks or at this time in years gone by. We mourn the passing of Marilyn Mim Berliner, of Trudy Owet, of Elliot Levine, beloved cantor of the Village Temple for many years, Joanne Raskus, Reina Ragonetti, Jean Abrams, Jerry Horowitz, Barnett Berliner, Dorothea Francescan, Susan Brown, Joyce Wallace, Joan Holland, Lillian Stein, Stanley Rennick, Rada Yashina, Sandra Engelson, Alice Chernick, Richard Mallon, Joseph Eny, David Eny, Jerome Hames, Marcia Burnham, Ralph Suskin, Robert Haskell. And we observe the yahrzeits for Sheila Bernhard, Morty Dralick, Rachel Rangowertz, Rose Windware, Jerome Sadler, and Saul Berliner. Please rise for Kaddish. Yitkad and Jack Schwartz. Yitkadal v'yitkadash shemei rabbah, bi'alma divrach yirtei v'yamlich malchutei, b'chayachon u'v'yomechon u'v'chaye d'chol beit Yisrael, ba'agala u'v'zman kariv v'imru, Amen. Yehei shmei rabbah mevarach le'alam u'lalmei almaya, yitbarach v'yishtabach v'yitzpa'ar v'yitroman v'yitnaseh, v'yitadar v'yitalev v'yitalal shmei d'kudisha barichu, La'ela min kol birchata v'shirata, tush bechata v'nechemata da'miran bi'alma v'imru, Amen. Yehei shlama rabba min shemaya, v'chayim aleinu ve'el kol Yisrael v'imru, Amen. Osei shalom b'imromav, hu ya'asei shalom aleinu ve'el kol Yisrael v'imru, Amen. May the one who creates harmony on high bring peace to us and to all Israel, to which we say, Amen.
Ve'imru, 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 Amen. Ve'imru, 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 Amen.
So a few announcements tonight. First of all, as you may have seen in your email, our Purim Spiel this weekend is postponed due to weather. I've been praying on it, but no luck on that one. So it will be on Tuesday. So please look for information on that. We would love to see you here outside of the building. The people in our choir, the children, have worked so incredibly hard to put together a very wicked spiel for this very wicked time. And I think you'll enjoy it, and it'll be a good release, some medicine for your neshama, for your soul. So we hope to see you there on Tuesday night. As I mentioned, we have a forum for the Manhattan DAs coming up. 6 or 7 of the candidates have agreed to be in it. Should be a really fascinating event. We hope to see you there. Soup Kitchen every Shabbat morning, going strong. The Cantor and I have some family education coming up. If you are a parent of a bar bat mitzvah child in the 7th grade, you already know about that. So look forward to seeing you next week. How'd I do?
Terrific.
All right.
We're busy.
We sure are busy. It's the best thing. I always love to close our service with words of blessing. Who doesn't need more blessings in their life? Yivarechecha Adonai v'yishmerecha. May God bless you and keep you. Ya'er Adonai panav elecha v'chuneka. May God's light shine upon you, and may God be gracious to you. Yisa Adonai panav elecha v'yasem lecha shalom. May you feel God's presence within you always, and may you find peace.
Amen. אני פורים, שמח ומבדח, הלא רק פעם בשנה אבוא להתארח. לי 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 הידד פורים, הכו טוב ומצטלתיים, אוי מי ייתנו בפורים לחודשיים. לי 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 אין כאלוהינו, אין כאדוננו, אין כמלכנו, אין כמושיענו. ברוך אלוהינו, ברוך אדוננו, ברוך מלכנו, ברוך למשיענו הטוב, אלוהינו הטוב, אדוננו הטוב, מלכנו הטוב, למשיענו. אין כאלוהינו, אין כאדוננו, אין כמלכנו, אין כמושיענו, אין כאלוהינו, אין כאדוננו, אין כמלכנו, אין כמושיענו.
Shabbat Shalom.
Shabbat Shalom.